Alright, so last time I said I would do all the water off screen, which is what I have done. I have also fixed and tested the intake of resources from the trains and make sure that that works, and moved everything into a main bus that will move through the factory. It will also move vertically through the factory for a good reason. That reason is over here. We are pulling in the liquids from the top, so we will be building the factory kind of upside down, so I need to bring the raw resources up and over and then down. So welcome, my name is Jack Blade, and this is my YouTube channel where we're playing some Satisfactory, and today we are on episode 20 in the beginner series, and if you haven't watched the earlier episodes, I highly recommend go back check those guys out, because it will actually explain what we're doing here and why we're here and all of it, and yeah. Essentially, you don't want to jump in at the mid of a season or like end quarter of a season of a TV series, and this is kind of the same thing. And we're building a aluminium factory here, and between episodes, I pulled in the water, I fixed the bus, and like all that kind of stuff. However, now we are going to start setting up the floor planning because we're building things upside down. We kind of need to know where the floors go, all of them, before we start building and what will be put on each floor. So that's what we're going to start out with, and hopefully that helps. And I feel like it's going to be a lot easier for me to be able to plan out the factory and make it efficient and functional. So to put it easy, this is the first logistics floor, which is obvious. Second, we will be pulling in the and make the alclad aluminium sheet and fluid tank plus the aluminium casing on this floor, which will be using these two kinds of machines, constructors and assemblers. And so I basically put them here so I can measure up to the next floor, which is a logistics floor again. Makes sense, right? And then on the next floor, which is going to be a very thin floor, we have aluminium ingots being processed. And on top of that, yet another logistics floor. Once again, makes sense. For those who know how I build, I always have a logistics floor in between every other floor. And then on the top, I will be making the alumina solution and aluminium scrap in the refineries here on top. And absolutely on the top, we have the roof, and it's on fire. Hope people like that reference. If you do, you are probably old, just like me. So with this in place, we know how the floors are going to be divided, which means that I know how high up I gotta build the refiners and everything. And it has plenty of space to bring the water down and still have all the head lift it needs and all that kind of stuff. So that's like a super important bit. And with that said, I am just going to go right ahead and sorry, before we continue, I gotta remember, we are not bringing in all the resources either. Remember, we still need to bring in, when we've done that factory, copper are gonna be brought in from this freight platform here, which has to be combined to make the aluminium sheets in here. If we look here, you can see that this needs copper and aluminium ingots. So we have another factory we need to set up that processes all the copper that we need for the end game. And let me just tell you this, that's going to be a big one. I think it's like 407, 410 copper refineries, like refineries because we're going to use the pure ingot recipe for making those. So yeah, we will have tons of copper, and we will have trains bring in the tiny amounts that we do need. But yeah, like this is the basic layout of our floors. What I will do now is it's probably going to be like over here. I'm going to pull this out in this direction. I kind of wanted this centered as a visual piece on that floor, so I will build it around here probably. That's like this is the floor, right? And then I'm gonna have some machines over here and some machines over here. But we're looking at an alumina solution to aluminium scrap kind of version of this, which means that it is going to be a complex liquid loop because we have to recycle some of the water. into the alumina solution refineries from the aluminum scrap machines. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of tinkering back and forth until I get that right, because it's always a heckin' struggle to get those balanced properly. So yeah, let's just jump over and see what we can find out about that. This should have been done along with more stuff for Sunday, but I was basically like making the blueprints for the machines at this point, and I felt I don't have enough progress. I've just put in the water, made the bus, and put this up when I needed to like upload episode 20 on the Sunday. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because you guys need more progress than that for it to be a full episode. And I don't have any other people, like I'm not playing with others on a server or anything, so I don't have like social interaction to fill out an episode with that way. I have to use progress for that, and this is what I got at this point. So I'm just going to continue building and see where I get for the for Thursday instead. So let's jump and see where I'm at in the progress after a few more days of planning and building and testing and troubleshooting and stuff. So I'll see you over there. Bye! Alright, so I have progressed, but I've also gotten sick, so I haven't been doing everything that I could have. So this is what I've done. I pretty much got this build, got set up, and started doing troubleshooting for it, and did most of the troubleshooting, and then I just started feeling really bad, and it turns out that I had been getting sick. So I'm recording this while I'm still sick, and I hope you can probably hear it in my voice. But yeah, I'm going to go through what I've done so far and hope that it helps. So what I've done is a double setup. So instead of finishing all of the alumina solution, which is in these, and then send that off, and then create a new entire like loop where this goes in, I've kind of had to connect them up as a parallel. Sorry. I've kind of connect them up as a parallel system where the alumina solution goes in, and when it processes in here, you can see that it also makes water. So to make them work, I basically connect up these systems that goes out and feeds into these loops over here, which gives us the water that we need while also stopping this from backing up. It's not working perfectly yet at this point. I still have some troubleshooting to do. Some of these are filling up faster than they are emptying, which is not good, which is why you can see that their efficiency is quite low. That efficiency needs to go up. Like if we look here on the belts, it's very blurry, but if we look here, you can see that some of the belts are empty for extended periods of time. They're not supposed to be. It's supposed to look like this, with just that like one tiny gap in between. Like you can see over here, it had that gap, and then it has that gap over here, and then it suddenly works again, and then you have that gap over here. Yeah, that part, it's not supposed to happen, and I need to fix that somehow. Before we kind of like continue. But yeah, the idea then is like one floor down that we make the smelters down here. But no, I'm not going to do that this episode, because I have to somehow figure out how to manage to get this working properly and get everything sent down to the right floor into like a section of smelters, sorry, that makes the aluminium ingot. If we look at it here, we're going to be using the pure aluminum ingot recipe, which is this one, so we don't have to deal with the silica. And the idea here is that each of these machines gives us 352.5. The full amount is 360, which means that we're going to need 6 smelters per machine. So we have 24 machines making aluminium scrap right now. So what we will do then is take 24 times 6, which means we need 144 machines. I've written down 141, we actually need 144. And that is basically how we will set up the next stage of this. But let's go through the loop in detail here. So water needs to go in to the alumina solution, some water. You can see up here, if you look, that they are set to run 471 cubic meters, not the full 600 that they are capable. Each pipe can hold 600 because that's how they're set up down here. But I've limited them because if we pull them too high, they're going to prioritize and fill up from here, and instead we're going to have backing up happening over here. So that's how I also control and adjust to make sure that these gets to empty. They are not getting to empty right now, so I just look at which pipe is being pulled into these machines. Technically it's all of them, because of how I've set up the loop system down here. But yeah, I will just adjust the intake up here so that it works with the liquid over here over time. And then I bring in the bauxite. And you can see here that we have a total of 8 intakes, but we're only using 6 of them, which in and of itself isn't bad. It's more like, wait, I've done something wrong somewhere. So in the troubleshooting, I learned a lot about what that was, which is that if we look at my belt priority system, which is a very simple one, it doesn't actually fill up properly. Like this one, obviously, fills up this, and like, or rather it goes to the left. So this one fills up this, but it doesn't move, right? And that might be because I don't have a belt in between here. But even with that, it doesn't work the way it should. And everything else should have the belts, right? Yeah, because if you can see, these belts aren't actually full. These 3 belts don't fill up all the way, and they have to. Because if we look up here, that is pretty much like what's expected in the machines. Each machine wants, or not over here, over here. Each machine needs 195.83, and there's 4. So that is 783, something like that. It is like slightly, just slightly too much to fit on a 780 belt. So what I need, essentially, is to supplement each belt at some point in here or something. Like I need to figure it out. I've made this like overflow system that's supposed to supplement, but it doesn't really work the way that I want it to. Plus the belts aren't getting fed all like properly in here, so the belts aren't full. So I need to look at it, and one of the things that I think has happened here is I need to take this belt that brings in 300 and merge that with this belt early on, and then run a system to like split them or like fix with overflow using smart splitters and stuff. So yeah, there are some things that I need to go through to fix here. And basically that's the like troubleshooting thing that I need to do. So I'm going to mess around with that. I'm gonna reverse this so that it goes in this direction instead. Or rather, where we're now moving everything to the left, we're gonna be moving everything towards the right, because if we look up here, I'm using the right, left, 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 not left, 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 right, 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 right. Like like this is not prioritized in the way that I'm actually using the resources up here. So I need to fix that. And I'll be right back for when I've done that. Alright, so I took a shower and came back, and like I have a fever, so I've probably done all of this wrong, and someone who knows these systems, please let me know in the comments what I need to do to fix this. I've been rebuilding this like 3 or 4 times, not figuring this out. I'm just getting super frustrated with it, and I have a fever, so I can't think properly. But yeah, I am sending stuff up, and I have balanced things out a lot better up top. As you can see, the belts look like they are all full at this point, which is exactly what I want, because that means that all of these are getting fed with bauxite almost to the brim. What I kind of need to do is grabbing this and still send that up. Oh yeah, every time the train comes in and stops to send off, it kind of empties out here. I need to figure that out too. And right now I'm just having a headache about that. So I'm gonna deal with that when I am not sick anymore. That is my idea. And yeah, so yeah, I've basically been messing about with it, trying to make sure that stuff, machines and everything actually works and gets full here, and for now it seems to be working somewhat, at least. It's only these machines that are fed by the belts that are sometimes empty that are having problems. Otherwise they seem to be working somewhat fine. But yeah, I'm going to like end off here so I have energy to edit this episode. But the idea is now that everything works as it should, and I really wish I had the energy to go through and build the next floor with the smelters for you guys as well, but it's going to have to wait. I don't have the presence of mind and energy, and I need to go sleep and everything for a day or two and get back on my feet. But until then, I hope that this has been somewhat entertaining and somewhat educational for you guys, even if it's just like, hey, I have made mistakes and I don't know how to fix them. This means that you can look at this and go like, hey, now I know not to do this. That is the closest thing I can get a being like educational today, I think. But the video will come up. It's going to be a really short video, and I really appreciate all the support I've been getting on all the other videos. And if you like this one as well and you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do right now is just hit the subscribe button, and please wait for not Fever Jack to show up and be happy and energetic and entertaining and show proper progress and everything. And I super apologize. I really wish I could have made more for this video, but I'm not really in control of when I get sick. So yeah, thank you all for your support, and I'll see you guys in episode 21, and I'll see you in the tips and tricks series. Otherwise, I will see you in the stream on September 10th when we get the 1.0 release and I have my first stream. Please, if you have suggestions, before I end off, if you have suggestions for what I should do for channel memberships, because they unlock at 500 subscribers, what you guys would like to see in a subscriber membership or like membership, channel membership, what you would like to see there as a benefit, or me giving back to the community, because I really want to do that. I don't want to just have money thrown at me for whatever reason. I also want to make sure that it is for something. Do you guys want like dedicated servers? Do you want, or access to dedicated servers? Do you want membership only streams? Yeah, whatever it is. I would love to hear your suggestions. So see you guys in another video, and bye for now.